Hello, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Love for Intuitive Astrology. So, for everyone who's new, my name is Michelle. I'm an intuitive astrologer, and I combine my knowledge of astrology with my intuition, and this will be reflected in this video. So, today I'm going to talk about the upcoming new moon that will happen in the sign of Gemini on the 15th of June 2026 at 24 degrees and 2 minutes. And I'm going to start off with explaining this new moon in general, and then we're going to dive into all the signs. Now, most accurate is your rising sign or your ascendant. And for additional information, you can also check your sun sign and your moon sign. So let's go ahead and look at this quite optimistic new moon. Now, in general, June has been really amazing, right? Because especially the beginning and the mid months, because we have this conjunction between Jupiter and Venus. And this is fantastic for creativity, for fun, and especially this new moon, a light-hearted time, because this new moon will be in the sign of Gemini, which is ruled by Mercury. This is youth, this is curiosity. And Gemini is ruled by the twins. So here we want to look at things from different perspectives. So maybe a heavy situation, now you can actually see the lightness of it. You can see different perspectives. It's about following your curiosity and not, it's not so black and white. Sometimes we don't have to pick a side, right? Sometimes we want to pick a side, but is that really necessary? Or are we going to gather information to see, like, okay, maybe things are not so black and white? This is what Gemini does, right? It does the research, it looks at things from different corners and, gather this information and then share it with others. So it's a quite sociable time. It's a beautiful time also to travel because Gemini is about movement. Okay. It's about vehicles as well. So you might be looking at new cars, buying a new car. Just make sure that you do some research because this new moon is not backed up by any planets. Okay. So it's kind of standing on its own, and Gemini is more of a chameleon. So going into different situations, looking at things from a different perspective. So make sure that if you buy something that you put your feet in the ground and you do, you double check everything, and not adjusting to the person that you're talking to. In general, if you like writing, reading, this is just a lovely time, right? Go to your favorite place. Gemini is really related to air, which is fresh air or mountains. Maybe you want to go to a river and read your, favorite book. This is just a time to also just treat yourself, right? Jupiter in a conjunction with Venus is still happening, but Venus is now in Leo. And Venus is quite strong right now, okay? This is the planet making a lot of connections, a lot of aspects during this new moon. So, what is Leo? This is about the sun, the sunshine. So, again, we have a quite optimistic planet, and it's fantastic for creativity. So if you have a hard job to do, try to see it as something fun. This is the only way you're getting things done, okay? Because Jupiter, Venus, is not really known to be very active, okay? They can be like sitting there being very relaxed. And honestly, I wanted to make this video, but I'm really feeling it. Like, I really need to make this video fun for myself. Otherwise, it's very hard to, continue with it. So anything you do, make sure to have fun with it and to enjoy it. Okay. So Venus is in a sextile with Uranus, and Uranus is also in the sign of Gemini. Okay, so great ideas can come now, especially if you're in any artistic field, right? If you're doing anything with art or marketing or interior design, any type of design, you're gonna have such a lovely time because also Venus is making a beautiful trine with Neptune. So again, we have this like fantasy brain. Okay, so if you're into fantasy or reading those type of books, or you need some kind of creative mind to get something done, this is a beautiful time to do so, okay? If you're really more an exact person, okay, we do have a strong Mercury, kind of strong because Mercury is in Cancer, and Cancer is ruled by the moon. Okay, so here we're going to connect our intellect with our emotions, and it's sextiling Mars. So this is good for communication. It's not great for patience, maybe. So if you in exact business, you might be zoning out sometimes and thinking about different things. Um, so great time to have conversations, to look at your money because Mars is in Taurus, which is your self-worth, which is your money. Maybe you want to talk to your family about money, right? We're talking about the sign of Cancer. Spending time with family is also beautiful. Spending time with siblings. Um, yeah, this is not really a time to be so heavy. We do have Venus in an opposition with Pluto, which is now, Pluto retrograde. So do good research on money situations, right? And even for your art, you can actually use your own shadow work in it. I don't know if someone can work with that, but in your creativity, which is Neptune, we have Venus in an opposition with Pluto. So Pluto is really about, everything hidden in the underworld. This is where we need to do shadow work. But what if we take our heavy lessons and we create art from it, or we create a message from it? If you're a writer, or, even if you're just in a normal business, but you use psychology or art to sell a certain product, okay? So think about what you've been through and how you can adjust it and turn it into something positive, right? Because this is very often what our heavy lessons are for, to, turn it into something positive, even though it's painful sometimes. But really, if we go in depth within ourselves, we can really bring a brilliant message forward. Watch out for money scams, okay? Because things can be too good to be true. And we do have Pluto in opposition. Same with romance, right? Like pink colored glasses are full on right now. We're gonna be so in love. We're gonna be like, there could be a little bit of a obsession there with Pluto. So be careful that we are not obsessing over a person that maybe is not as interested. And I do think that all of us in our life, at some point, we had some unrequired love that we have, that we're fixated on. And this could be a time where this could start. Okay. So, um, if love, if someone is interested, I know it sounds blunt, but you will know. So if it's not that, and it can be someone who's obsessed with you, actually, who's going to chase you and want your attention. So it can also be the other way around. Try to be clear and make sure the other person knows. So let's go to all the signs. I don't have too much to say about this new moon. It's just a fun, light-hearted time. So for my lovely, lovely Aries, we have this new moon in Gemini in your third house. So this is great for communication, for writing. You might have a lot of new ideas. And we have Mercury in a sextile with Mars. So Mercury's in the fourth house. So you might have new ideas on how to decorate your house. Maybe you're talking with your family about money or how to organize money. It could be that you're even earning. Maybe you're making products for in a house. Okay, so you will see some success there. Jupiter is rounding its time up in your fourth house. Okay, so anything related to real estate or things that need to be rounded up, now is the time to do that. We're also almost going into Mercury retrograde. So anything you need to get done for the house with contractors or things, do that now. If things are ongoing, it's fine. It just has to do when you start a new project and you have to write a contract. So, yeah, buying a new car, like I said, double check everything because this new moon is kind of standing on its own, doing its own thing. Um, it might be a good time to, maybe you study and you pass quite easily your tests because you're seeing it more light. There's not a lot of heaviness during this new moon. and you have a really strong voice right now. Okay, communication is good. um, and you have to feel what you're saying. So if you want to learn something, study it and really feel what you're doing. That's gonna help you a lot. Now, Venus is in Leo there in the fifth house, and it's sextiling Uranus in the third. So creative ideas, okay, maybe in any type of job where you need creativity with communication, like I said, like marketing or anything like that, creative projects. If you're an artist, you're going to create something really out of the box, very different. Do your research, and Pluto is in the 11th house, so don't talk to too many people about it. You might trust the wrong people with your project, so make sure that you pick the right people to work with you. um, some of you Aries, you will help your children with their projects, okay? Supporting them and maybe bringing them to different locations for them to execute their projects. Now, let me get you a cards. I'm going to keep it light, short, and fun, okay? Because this is just a wonderful time. Neptune, especially if you have, between 0 and let's say 7-degree Aries, Sun, and Rising, you're going to be impacted by Neptune. So you're definitely going to suffer from some daydreaming. Um, and especially now with this trine with Venus, okay? So you're going to be super creative, but you're going to be a little bit in your own fantasy world. Let's see. Indecision. So maybe there's some type of indecision. Now we're talking about Gemini here, right? So you need to do research, you need to read upon things before you can make a decision in the situation that you have in your mind right now. Failure, okay? Some of you maybe feel like, I keep failing or things are just not working for me. And what I've seen a lot of times, and I think this is good advice with this new moon, is that when we see something as so heavy, right? If we see work as something heavy, it must make money, I have to support my family, there's no fun in it. And it's going to be very, very hard to get the income that you want because everything you do, people can feel the energy in your work. So I know for some of you, just keep going and try to make it light and fun. And I know we all have commitments and all these kind of things, but sometimes changing your inner energy will change how, things are going for you in your life. Also with relationships, okay? Maybe some of you feel like you failed in a relationship, and this is just, we've all been through that, okay? And important is that we take accountability. And if someone is not accepting this accountability, it's not up to you anymore, right? So you do your best, you do what you can. And when it comes to relationships, I just want to say that the right person is going to stick with you. So you don't have to try to force the harmony. Harmony is there when it's meant to be there, and it's just gonna flow. And this is a month of flowing, at least up until the 26th of June. This is time to feel, be in your feelings, let yourself be guided. Let Jupiter in Cancer give you this last wisdom. And for you, it's in the fourth house, okay? So maybe your family is giving you wisdom, or just spending time at home is going to give you this sense of peace, okay? And some things we can't change. If we can, if you've done everything, you can't change that. We can only change within our reach what we are able to change about ourselves. So see what you can do to make your life more fun, more creative. And yeah, spend time with your kids. If you have kids, great time. Spend time with your romantic partner. It's such a romantic time, okay? Daydream a little bit, and later on, you will see how your dreams can become reality. But if you want to work on them, keep it light and keep it simple. That's how you can make it happen right now. So that's my message for you, my amazing Aries. Thank you so much for being here. And until next time. Taurus, sun, moon, and rising. So for you, we have this new moon in Gemini at 24 degrees in your second house. So here you could be looking at your income, okay, organizing your income, or there could be new opportunities coming in for you. And Gemini is ruled by Mercury, so it could be related to communication, right? Income through communicating, like sales, or just doing a very good job. Maybe you're a content writer, okay? You're getting some extra clients right now. Um, this could also mean that if you work in finance, actually, this can be very good. We do have Uranus now also in your second house, so many can come and go. So let it flow with Uranus in the second house. That is some advice that I can give you because I also have in my natal chart Uranus in the second house, and money always came and then went and then came. And when I just had peace with it, it's kind of an out of the box approach to it, right? Like money is just always going to be there. And with so much in Gemini, it could be that you're going to have two different incomes, two different things that you can have income with. So extra money could be coming in for you. We have Mercury in a sextile with Mars. So Mars is there in your first house. So you're going to have more energy and it's connected to the third house. So your communication is strong as long as you feel what you're saying because we have Mercury in Cancer. This is about, ruled by the moon, your emotions. And the moon is now in Gemini. So connecting your intellect with what you're feeling, okay? Is going to be important. And then really your words are can really change people's perspectives right now. So talk from the heart, especially if you're on social media or you use communication in your day-to-day work, you will see that it's going to pay off. Okay. So a new contract, um, maybe also for a new house, we have Venus there in the fourth house. Now, keep in mind that by the end of the month, we're going to have Mercury retrograde, okay, in a water sign. So it's not super strong. So any contracts you need to sign, do it around this time, okay? By the end of the month, it's going to be much more confusing. It's a great time to redecorate your place. Look at the budget you have, okay? Important with this new moon. And yeah, it's time to balance home with work life, work life with home life. Anyway, because Venus is in opposition with Pluto, and with Pluto in the midheaven or in the 10th house, it could be some trouble with the bosses, people that are not fully in agreement with you. Sometimes it can be a little bit jealousy, right, with Pluto, because Pluto is the underworld. So if things are going well for you, sometimes the boss or someone else could be not in agreement with you. This can also literally mean that you're changing everything, changing job, changing location, and it's going to need some time to adjust. And with Venus in a trine with Neptune, Neptune is in the 12th house. This is fantastic for meditation. This is great for creative expression. So, yeah, spend some time at home as well, and you will see that a lot of creative ideas might be coming to the service. Let me get you a card, my amazing Taurus. Alrighty. Doubt. Maybe you have some doubts about money. Like, how is money coming in? Maybe you are self-employed now. Maybe you made that change. Okay, because I'm seeing a bit of worry. So think about this Gemini energy, light-hearted time, do your research, look into maybe how you can make money, do research on how to make money. Because, as simple as new moon in the second house can mean earning money, it's not always that. It's sometimes just the subject of it and to do research in how to make money and also your worth, your self-worth. Like, do you even feel worthy to earn money? Okay. We're getting here relationships, right? We don't have a lot of emphasis on relationships, but right now, especially your siblings and your family are coming to the forefront. Okay, we have Jupiter there in the third house. We have this wonderful Mercury in a sextile with Mars. So maybe you want to talk with your siblings. They can really give you good advice right now, or you're giving them really good advice. Okay, and that might be kind of life changing. Spending time with them. Maybe you want to go to have a hike with them or go to the forest. We have Mars in an earth sign, in your sign in Taurus. So do a walk in the nature and it will give you a lot of ideas. So going to the nature will definitely bring in new ideas for you. So that would be my message for you, my amazing Taurus. Thank you so much for being here. And until next time, let's move on to Gemini. So you're going to be in the picture today on the 15th of June. And you're going to be especially impacted if, you know, your sun, moon, or rising is around 24 degrees. So 5 degrees up, 5 degrees down, more or less. And this could be a new beginning for you. And it can be as simple as an idea that manifests. If you're going to take action on that, yes or no yet, doesn't matter. So if you have a great idea, just write it down. If there's something you want to manifest, or you're thinking that, you know, I have this strong desire that this is what I want, then you can meditate on it. Okay. And it's a great day to journal. And with Uranus there in the first house, you probably just want to explore as well different directions in life. Mars is still in the 12th house, so it's not a time to go really hard on sports or doing a lot, because you will see that suddenly you're going to crash. Okay. Mars is hidden in the 12th house, and the rest of the planets are so lighthearted, so fun. Okay. Maybe you want to change your looks. Maybe you feel like, okay, I want to change something or get a haircut or, you know, something like that. We have Mercury in a sextile with Mars. So if you're signing a new contract, we're gonna have Mercury retrograde coming up close. So do it around this time. You know, if you have a job in the hospital, this could be a time you start that, or doing something with yoga. You know, if you're a yoga teacher, doing anything with meditation, this is a good time. Maybe you're signing with a studio, this would be a good time to do so. And Jupiter is rounding up its time in the second house. Okay, so it's going to give you its last gifts around this time. So income, wisdom on how to make more income, and then it's going to go to your third house, where now Venus already is. And Venus is making an aspect with Uranus. So, again, it's great for changing your looks. You might want to, like, some of you will go on a sudden day trip or weekend trip that, yeah, will just change the way you see things. It's a great time for research, sharing wisdom, to maybe the public, even. Okay, because we have Neptune in the 11th house. Now, keep in mind, Gemini, you have Saturn also in the 11th house. So you are making kind of like there's a filter going on with friendships. So you will see who's staying with you and who is continuing their path. And sometimes these paths will cross with each other again. And sometimes they don't. And it's okay, right? We can still not be in touch with someone and still wish them well. Um, it's the energy surrounded by, you know, a separation of friendships or even family, as long as we wish them the best. Like sometimes we tried the best we could. Okay. Transformative vacation with friends. Okay, like I said, maybe they're, you know, you're going on a holiday and with some friends you're just so close, and with others you see that you're growing a bit apart, which is fine. Acceptance, right? So there's almost like an acceptance that you're going to have, and this is going to create a new beginning, because sometimes when we make space and we let go of all these heavy past thoughts that we keep repeating them, and they're kind of holding us back and preventing us from this new beginning. Okay, wow, we just talk about it, surrender. So it's basically like surrendering in the moment. And if we don't know an answer necessarily today, sometimes we have to wait a little bit longer because divine timing is there. So if we let the divine show us the right timing, we know how perfectly everything is aligned. Okay. So that would be my message for you. Have a lot of fun. It's a beautiful time. It's a creative time, creative writing, creative speaking. If you're on social media, this is a lovely time, and you might figure out some more ways of getting income, or more income is coming your way. But in general, you just feel a little bit more upliftment for the times to come. Okay. Or even some of you a bit nostalgic also from the past, but make sure that you take it in a light way during this new moon. But there's no other sign that can take something heavy and make it very light and very educative and fun. So yeah, that would be my message for you, my amazing Gemini. Thank you so much for being here. And until next time, let's go to Cancer. Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What must this be? A lovely, lovely month for you, right? We started off with Jupiter conjunct Venus in your sign. So, all in the first house. So, you are like oozing with like a magnetic aura, and this will draw so many opportunities to you. Okay. Now, during this new moon, Venus moved into your second house. So, this is more about how you make money, how you are feeling worthy of yourself. We have this Venus in an opposition with Pluto. So, time to really check maybe, I don't know, if sounds boring, taxes or paperwork. Okay. That's just the only thing you have to watch out for. Everything else is going to be good. It's great for creative time, uh, because we have Venus in a trine with Neptune, which is in the 10th house. So, creative work, if you're a creative director, an artist, or you're in the spiritual field, or you're on social media, this is just a lovely time. Mercury is in Cancer, also in your sign in the first house, and it's sextiling Mars in the 11th. So you're gonna have this, if you are connected with your emotions, you're gonna have this beautiful alignment between your feelings and what you're speaking up about. Okay, especially if you are doing a workshop or you're sharing something on social media, or maybe you're doing a conversation with networking, what is it called, conferences. So if you're going on a conference, something like that, you really have this magnetic glow. This new moon in Gemini is in the 12th house. Okay, so this could be a little bit restless. My advice is to journal and to not take too much action. Like, just let things happen, let things flow. And I know Cancer, you're a sign that's very good at that, but not too much force. Let things happen. And if your body needs some rest, like, just accept it. Just with, Jupiter and Venus still kind of in a conjunction, just make sure that, you don't overeat. Maybe you're already in a transition because Jupiter is soon going into Leo. Getting a diet, because Jupiter in the first house sometimes makes us a bit indulgent, self-indulgent, which is totally fine. It happened to me when Jupiter went over my last time. It went in my first house. Yeah, but I was happy. I didn't realize it, but you see it on photos. But it's fine, right? You will recover later. Like, we're also just human beings, and I think we should just sometimes be a little bit softer for ourselves and not be so hard. Like, trying to achieve all these perfect bodies that we see all the time and all these plastic faces, like how things should look and how we should be presenting ourselves. I think it just really damages people's self-esteem. And we also just have to live and flow. And, it's not so easy to align with your spirituality if we're just, doing so, being so tough on ourselves, right? And then getting blame. So maybe some of you are blaming yourself for something, or you're being a bit hard on yourself. Okay. Discipline will come back. This month is not a very disciplined month, to be fair. So um the only way you can work with this energy is to make things fun. So if you're gonna do some work, make it fun, make it light. Imagination, just seeing it in front of you, because this imagination is big this month. Creativity is huge. So don't feel bad if not as much can happen as you want it to be, because it's quite a lazy energy, but it's a curious and fun energy. So take your time, and sometimes letting things flow can actually give you the answers that you need or the ideas that you're waiting for. So that would be my message for you, my amazing Cancer. Thank you so much for being here. And until next time, let's move on to Leo. So, Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is such a lovely time for you. We're about to have Jupiter in your sign. Don't miss out the video, my video of Jupiter in Leo, because this is just a lovely time for you. You're going to have so much energy and optimism, so it's going to be super positive. But for now, Jupiter is rounding up in Cancer there in the 12th house. Okay. But Venus is making its move in the first house, and it's trining Neptune in the ninth. So maybe you're going to do some kind of trip or a retreat, and it's just going to change your whole vibe. You know, a lot of Leos are going on retreats or, doing a lot of meditation is going to help you bring out that super creativity right now. This new moon is kind of standing on its own. It's kind of lonely there in your 11th house. It's just fun time, spend it with friends, have a good lighthearted time. Maybe you want to do a workshop, but it's not really a time of massive discipline. So if you do that, make sure to make it fun, not so heavy. Just having a joyful time. Okay, great for networking. You're definitely going to be noticed. Okay, Venus is in the first house, opposing Pluto retrograde in the seventh. So there might be some, things coming up in your relationship that need a little bit of caution, or, that need to be faced. I always say Pluto will only show you what is hidden in the underworld. So if there is nothing, you don't have to worry about your relationship. But if there are skeletons in the closet, Pluto is happy to reveal them to you, especially when Pluto is retrograde. Okay, we're going to have this internal sense of something is off, and I think a lot of times we don't really listen to this feeling. Like we know something is off, but we can't really pinpoint it. So listen to this intuition if that's what you're feeling. Mars is in the 10th house, so this is great for work. Okay, Mercury's in the 12th, so spend some time relaxing if you need any ideas on how to move forward with work. Like I said, it's not a time for a massive discipline. This is a fun, lighthearted time, and ideas are coming through that because sometimes we're trying so hard to make things happen because we want to finish something, but sometimes letting go, having a night to a restaurant with friends, you had such a good time and you just have this great conversation, and this idea just might come naturally, okay? So it's not really a time to try to force anything. Venus is in a sextile with Uranus in the 11th. So once again, it's just a great time for meeting new friends. And maybe there's even, if you're single, a love interest, someone that's interested in you. But you like your friends quirky right now, different, because you can learn from that, right? If everybody's the same, dressed the same, it's just all the same. I used to live on an island and everybody had the same job, and we're all kind of, everything was quite the same. And I kind of missed talking, having people that have like their own hobbies or their own creative work, because I love to learn from others. I love to learn what everybody's doing and giving different perspectives in life. And this is also a very Gemini energy that need to be expressed today. So Leo, let me get you a card. If you want to change your looks today, okay, some are gonna revenge, change their looks, okay? Maybe after a relationship, you're like, you know what? I'm gonna do a full glow up. But just for, if not, it's going to be for yourself. Trust the process, okay? It doesn't need to be all done today. In lightness, you're going to hear what you need to do. And then I'm getting forgiveness. So this could be, yeah, a partner. Saturn in the ninth house, this could be a teacher even, right? Like we sometimes have a teacher that has their own flaws, and we all do that sometimes. We put someone on a pedestal, and we really admire that person, and then that person is not, you notice they're actually human and they make mistakes just like everyone else, right? So that's why we shouldn't put people on a pedestal. We should be open to everyone and learn from everyone. And yeah, and the universe will send you to people who give you a certain lesson. If it's a good lesson or a bad lesson, well, that's what you're gonna figure out. So everything is like kind of like a mirror. Um, but yeah, these lessons might be coming up, but it's not gonna bother you too much because you're gonna go through. It's a really beautiful time right now. So don't be hard on yourself if maybe you put someone on a pedestal, and that's okay. We are all human, and that actually forces us to put the energy back on ourselves. Like even in reading, sometimes I can be a little bit direct in that, right? I tell people, like, if they book too often, they become dependent on me, and I'm here to guide you, to give you all the information and the power to yourself so you can grow, right? You shouldn't be dependent on me. I'm also just a human being. I just channel the information from the other side. So, yeah, I think that confuses people sometimes. Like it's I'm a channel, I'm a messenger. So, yeah, think about that. In the end, we have to do it ourselves. We come alone, we go alone. So, don't depend on other people or let people depend on you, Leo, because sometimes we let other people lean on us, and it's not very healthy. It becomes very heavy, and sometimes they want to shove the karma onto you. You carry my karma so I can have this light time. No, it doesn't work like that. Everybody is needing to be accountable for their own things. So I know this was a long message, but I'm sure one of you resonates with this. Okay, so if you're carrying too much heaviness for someone else, or you're disappointed in someone, which is, it can happen. Okay, but enjoy this time. You don't have too much time for heaviness. It's a fun time. So, anyways, Leo, thank you so much for being here. And until next time. So, Virgo, Sun and Rising. This new moon in Gemini is gonna be in your 10th house. So you're gonna have some good ideas for work. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, just like you. So you're gonna be maybe a little chatty. I'm a Virgo. I am chatty. Sometimes I know it annoys my partner because I think out loud, unboxing everything, because I like to organize it in my mind. So I would love to hear from my fellow Virgos how that is for you. But yeah, enough about that. Let's talk about your work and your ideas, because this is a great time for, communication. If you need to do any type of speech, you're going to really impress people. Jupiter's in the 11th house and Mercury is in Cancer. So if you're going to speak in public, like on a conference or on social media, or anywhere where you need to speak, even if it's just a meeting and you need to speak, talk from your emotions. Like, let's say you need to get like to a certain company and you want to sell product, speak from your heart. That's really going to help you, because, or speak from your feelings, because Mercury is in Cancer, ruled by the moon, and the moon now is in Gemini. So it's chatty, but it's also about connecting with your emotions and your feelings. Yeah, you might get some public attention, like people maybe they start to see what you're doing. This new moon is standing on its own, so it's kind of wobbly. It's a little bit uncomfortable. Like I'm getting this attention, but I don't really know what to do with it. Okay. Uranus now in the 10th house, so maybe you're doing a more out of the box job, more freedom, hybrid work, remote work, science, somewhere where you kind of have the reins in your own hands. Like your Uranus in the 10th house cannot deal with micromanagement. So this is not a period where you're going to deal with difficult, management. That's going to be very hard for you right now. Yeah, Mercury is sextiling Mars. Some of you are going on a holiday, maybe with your friends, and you just have fun and good conversations. Okay, this is for a light-hearted time. This is not time for any heaviness. The only kind of aspect to be careful of is Venus in the 12th, opposite Pluto in the 6th. So it could be a secret admirer at work or in your gym. And, it's up to you what you're going to do with that. But if you're already in a relationship, just be careful because it might be a lot nicer than it actually is or than it seems, because we have Neptune there in the 8th house. This is about transformation. But yeah, it's also a bit about secrets. So yeah, just be careful how to deal with that. Also, when it comes to your diet, make sure to stick to a certain diet, not too extreme, but also, not let loose too much with Pluto there in the 6th house. Have a good routine and have fun at the same time. So it's kind of like this mix, what you need to, you know, look out for. Yeah, with Saturn in the 8th house, good to do it's only long-term investments that are going to work. Look at that surface. So what can you do to be of service for other people? Something that you enjoy, right? Like everybody in this planet is needed, and we came with certain gifts that are going to help certain people. So if you think that a certain thing that you really want is impossible for you, you're kind of sabotaging your own path. So it's good to open it up. Now is a lighthearted time. How can I be of service to people? And sometimes giving is receiving. Okay. And I'm not saying giving at your cost of yourself because that's not good. Okay. So I'm seeing it a fear. Maybe you're scared to go after this dream or to go after, Pluto in the 6th house, to go after this diet or this job that you want. Like, can I actually do it? Um, so yeah, I'm seeing relationships and I see blame. Maybe people in the past have blamed you for certain things, okay? And this voice can be still in your head, right? If it's moon in Virgo, sometimes you could have dealt with a critical mom, or sun in Virgo, it can sometimes deal with a critical father, okay? Depends on the houses it's in. But Virgos can be critical of themselves, okay? And that can hold you back. Like you cannot be perfect. You cannot say everything perfect, do everything perfect. So sometimes it's okay to let loose and see what happens. And if there's a mistake, you just do better next time, you know? And I always say, if you own it, people cannot say anything. Well, yeah, I make that mistake. It happened. Yeah, so what? It happened. I tried. I'm a human being and I'm going to do better now. It's what you do with that particular situation. Like if you're going to do it over and over again, yeah, maybe then you should start to look like maybe something what I'm doing is not right. But if you make a mistake, you learn from it, maybe you make it twice, no worries, okay? Just be gentle with yourself. It's a time to be gentle and to have a good time. So that's my message for you, my amazing Virgo. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, let's move on to Libra. So, Libra, Sun and Rising for you, we have this new moon at 24 degrees on the 15th of June in your ninth house. So, this is a great time for, traveling. It is standing on its own, so you might feel a little bit lost. Like, what should I do on this trip? Great for languages, learning a language, maybe going to a country and then learning that language. Um, it's a very curious energy, okay? Maybe you're writing books or you're watching documentaries about different countries, and yeah, you're learning about a lot of facts, maybe archaeology or history, philosophy. You're just learning a lot of new things, okay? Maybe some of you even going and doing research abroad. We have Mars in the 8th house in Taurus, and it's in a sextile with Mercury, okay, in your 10th house. So any research might be really paying off right now. Just keep in mind, Mercury is stationing retrograde by the end of the month. So, anything you need to do work-wise with contracts, and now is the time to do it. After that, it will be a little bit more, a little bit more tricky. Jupiter is rounding up in your 10th house. So anything related to your work, anything that needs closure when it comes to work, it will come right now. Or any gifts, right? Anything that you worked really hard on, you might really see results around this time. Venus is now in Leo in the 11th house, so time to hang out with your friends. It's sextiling Uranus in the ninth, so maybe you're traveling with your friends, or you're just having this time of sharing your knowledge, or you're doing some kind of workshop. Uranus in the ninth house is great also for learning astrology, if that's what you're into. I do master classes as well. Okay, I don't really heavily advertise that, but if someone wants to become an astrologer or they want to learn about how I, do astrology, but also in an intuitive way and really know how to read people, then yeah, you can always contact me. So yeah, it's a great time to have fun with friends. And there could be some difficulty in relationships. Maybe you're avoiding something because Neptune can avoid things, right? It's Venus in the 11th. Like, I'm going to spend time with my friends to kind of avoid what is happening in my relationship. Okay. And if you're single, it's important that you ask the right questions to that person. Okay. Ask questions that are showing how committed they actually are to you, Libra. What do you have? Envy. So it could be that things are going quite well for you, right? And this is not a fun thing, I believe. I think that is something that as a collective we need to work on. That why are we not happy when someone is achieving things and having beautiful things in their life, right? Starting a family, or when something amazing happens that people just disappear. And on the other hand, it shows you who's your true friend, right? And if people really feel that way and they can admit it, it's, I think, also fine. Um, but yeah, I think that we live in a such a materialistic society where we're all trying to chase this status or this materials. And if someone reaches that faster than you, then that doesn't mean that there's something wrong with that person, you know? So yeah, I think that envy first comes from not feeling whole and complete within yourself. So if that happens to you, I always say like you can send them blessings, and it's up to that person if you want to hang out with someone that is having these traits. Okay, indecision. So maybe you're having some indecision about someone that feels that way. Okay, this can be family, sometimes it's a partner even, right? If things are going well for you and for them it's not going all that well, yeah, blame. So don't try to make yourself smaller. See what you can do from like a detached perspective, and forgive, right? You don't have to forget. Forgiveness is for you, it's not for other people. Like some people say others don't forgive, deserve forgiveness, but it's like it's more about letting go the anger within you that keeps you trapped. Okay, that keeps you trapped in that anger. And sometimes it can take a long time, and that's okay. Like you can go in a process where that's going to take some time, and we have to be patient and gentle, but at some point we have to let go for ourselves so we can move on and create a better life. Okay, discipline, not the most disciplined time. Okay, but if you enjoy things with fun and curiosity, you can get a lot of things done. Great time for a new job as well. If you're looking for a new job, this is a good time. So yeah, that would be my message for you, my lovely, lovely Libra. Thank you so much for being here. And until next time, let's move on to Scorpio. So Scorpio, Sun and Rising, we have this new moon in Gemini standing on its own at 24 degrees in your eighth house. Okay, so this is time to kind of watch your paperwork. I know it sounds very boring, like taxes. Like for me personally, now is the time to do the yearly tax, right? I don't know how is that in your country. So from last year, so uh, like bills, electricity bills, loans, any news on that could all be coming around this day. It could be unexpected money coming through third-party sources, like getting money back. That it's a great time for research. Okay, not heavy research, but light and fun research into deep subjects. Okay, Scorpios have a talent to look into something very deep with Gemini in the eighth house and create a certain lightness to it, right? And maybe even just comfortable with this cycle of life, death, and rebirth in life, or even just with that, literally, where you are able to not be super affected by it, right? So people with a strong eighth house or air eighth house, they can take things, heavy subjects, in a lighter way. Yeah, it's great for a new job if you're an accountant, you're in the medical field, or you're doing any kind of scientific research. It's a fantastic time. Jupiter's rounding its way up now in Cancer. It's about to go in the sign of Leo, which is going to really be good for your career, Scorpio. It's going to be fantastic. But Venus is already there, so it's going to give you a pre-taste. Okay, so sudden income might be coming. If you're in the artistic field, this is a fantastic time because Venus is trining Neptune in the sixth house, but you probably have a hard time like sticking like to a routine. It's kind of weird because Neptune is there making it hard and Saturn is there giving you this commitment. So it's going to be, back and forward, but definitely Neptune is going to win during this new moon. So try to make a schedule if that's possible for you with your work that feels light and fun and doable for you. Mercury is in the ninth house, okay, and it's great for teaching, but especially teaching from your emotions because Cancer is connected with the moon, it's ruled by the moon. So if you're a teacher, for example, then it's really a good time. You could be partnering up with someone, like collaborating, because Mars is there in the seventh house in Taurus. Um, but it's time to speak from the heart. And when you teach or talk to other people, some will round up a house abroad if you want to live in a different country. We're gonna have Mercury retrograde soon coming up, so um, don't wait too long with any contracts that you're signing. Okay. Studying, maybe you want to study together with someone, it's just getting a bit better right now, or you're traveling with a romantic partner or your business partner, and you just, it's a really great time. Mars in the seventh house likes to take action on something, so maybe you're going to do some hikes and things like that. We have Venus in an opposition with Pluto in the fourth house, so it could be that work is going well and it might trigger some feelings in some family members. We see this a lot with generations that are now there, right? Because we have such a new time and we have more opportunities, more choices right now in the sense of what we want to do. And I think the older generation was so used to work so hard. And, there's this massive shift happening right now. And some of the older generation are catching up in a perfectly, right? Perfectly. But others maybe feel like looking back, like, wow, I could have done this sooner. I could have had this freedom a bit sooner, or this creative expression. Okay. And sometimes that comes true, and they find it difficult to relate to now younger generation, right? Like I have readings with younger the younger generation, and honestly they're so smart already, and so they're so quick at understanding things, whereas I'm kind of in the millennial generation, so we are like in the middle, right? um but yeah, lots of opportunities, and yeah, if your family struggles feeling this happiness right away, give them a little time to keep up with all this technology as well, because it's a lot. Loneliness, okay? So, mm, mm, mm. Okay. Okay. So this is the story, what I'm getting. Loneliness. Actually, sometimes when we spend time alone, we think it's loneliness. But, sometimes the universe removes people from your life that were not serving you, and you can like redo your energies and refocus on this new direction. So sometimes you're being put alone for you to understand, what am I in denial about, you know, and how can I be in gratitude? So this is a little process, right? Like sometimes, and I've had that in the past when I was in denial about certain friendships that were not good for me. But I really wanted to have this connection and I really enjoyed spending time with other people. But, sometimes the signs are there, like these little jabs coming in between. And yeah, we sometimes just don't want to be alone, so we stick with something that's not good for us. A relationship, um, sometimes it's family where we're surrounded by family all the time and we feel so alone because we first need to connect to ourselves. So if that's you, it's don't see it as loneliness, see it as a reconnection to yourself. So things are going to come more easily because you're in a massive transition now, and work is going to be doing very, very well, and it's going to trigger some situations, okay? Which is okay, which is fine. It happens sometimes. But in general, very light-hearted time. um, you might do some research that really blows your mind. That's gonna set you on a new path. So, yeah, wishing you all the best, my amazing Scorpio. And until next time. So here we have Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We have this new moon in your seventh house. And this is related to your romantic partners, business partnerships. And there's a lot of focus on it, but this new moon is not really backed up by any aspect. So it's kind of standing on its own. So you might meet someone new and you're like, I don't really know what to think about it yet. Okay. So give it some time for it to reveal itself to you. Okay. We have Uranus there as well in the seventh house, and it's sextiling Mars in the sixth. So maybe you want to do some sports with your partner or your business partner. Like if you have a business partner, this is a great time to move ahead, to think outside of the box. Uranus in the seventh house, is not anything negative actually, because Uranus is just the planet of anything unexpected. And it's perfectly, if you're single, it's perfectly fine to meet someone. It might be someone that's a bit more out of the box, a bit younger, having different interests, but, doesn't that make life unexpected and fun? So it doesn't have to mean anything negative. I've seen people write that or think that, but it's not at all something like that. I met my partner when Uranus transited my seventh house, and yeah, he's out of the box like me. So I think it's perfect. Okay. So it's not something to really be fearful about. So Mercury is in Cancer, ruled by the moon in the eighth house. So great time for investments, especially if you're, maybe investing in anything related to the medical field or real estate. Do your research and also be careful because soon we have Mercury retrograde coming up. So don't wait too long, or do your research now and then act on it later. Jupiter is about to move into Leo by the end of the month, which for you, Sagittarius, is going to be fantastic. Okay. It's in a fellow fire sign. It's going to make a trine to your sun, moon, and rising. So this is very, very good. Time for sports, action, fun. See where love takes you as well, okay? Because we have Venus in the ninth house, so this could be someone also from you meeting on a holiday. And it's opposing Pluto. So just see if what that person says is matching their actions. This is very important in general in life. If actions do not match words, this is a big tell. And if it happens once, it's fine, right? We sometimes say, oh, I want to buy a boat, and then doesn't happen, which is fine. But if someone says, I'm going to pick you up at this time and is constantly late or is not, I'm going to help you with this and then doesn't do it. So constantly not having the words matching with actions, then yeah, there is something to look at. Great time for research, publishing, writing. Um, yeah, creative time because Venus in the ninth house is in a trine with Neptune. So maybe you're traveling and you just feel so expressive and have great ideas. It could be even your kids that are going to give you these creative ideas, okay? Traveling with your kids for some of you. Let me get you a card. Janelle, I'm getting. Okay. Okay. Mm-mm-mm. Okay. Sometimes, okay, because I'm getting loneliness, denial, and envy, and this sounds a bit negative, right? But sometimes, and I had this conversation with Scorpio, I'm gonna give a little bit of it as well. Like sometimes we're trying to be in denial about a situation or about a person, because we don't want to be alone and we stick with someone that is not good for us, right? Or at least we should have a little bit of boundaries there. So I'm getting here gratitude. A great way to detach in a situation that maybe is not the best is gratitude for your own life and see what makes you happy. Like, what can you do right now in this moment that's going to make you happy? Okay. I'm getting envy. So, envy is about maybe you succeeding or you having something that someone else wants to have, right? And this happens is a normal feeling or emotion to have. It's like what the person does with it. Like, do I need to put someone down, or do we say just, I envy you because I would love to have that, but I'm so happy for you. That's fine. That's fine. But if someone is trying to put you down and you feel subconsciously you need to make yourself smaller so the other person is not affected, then we are not fully ourselves. Okay. We are not in our full power. I'm getting health as well. So some of you are going on a diet with Mars there in the sixth house. It's a great time to, look at the diet, look at what you can cook, like healthy cooking and things like that. So that would be my message for you, my amazing Sagittarius. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, let's move on to Capricorn. Capricorn, Sun, and Rising. For you, we have this new moon in Gemini on the 15th of June in your sixth house. And this new moon is kind of standing on its own. Okay, it's a great time to maybe go for a lunch or a dinner, maybe with your colleagues. It's a light-hearted time. So even if you go to the gym or you do a hike, it's more about having fun in the moment. You could have great ideas at work as well. Okay, but because there's not a lot of discipline right now, it's more about having fun and enjoying the process. And when you do that, that's when you get stuff done right now, okay? Because I know, Gemini is a very different energy from Saturn and Capricorn, right? You want to have a plan, but if you're going to force this energy, it's going to be more hard. Mercury is in the seventh house and ruled by the moon in Cancer. So it's great to have conversations that are close to your emotions, close to your heart with a business partner, with a romantic partner, and also about kids because it's sextiling Mars in the fifth house. So maybe you're thinking about having a kid with your partner and having a serious conversation, or you just, have a conversation on how you see the future with your kids, how how you want to work together in that way. Okay, it might be just a project that you're doing with a business partner, and you just will have a lot of good ideas coming up. Don't wait too long for marriage because Mercury retrograde is coming up, and some people are panicking a little bit, like, should I get married during Mercury retrograde? It's fine if you have it in your natal chart, okay? And if you just do that, then, you can always get remarried, a small ceremony during Mercury direct. Okay, just to be sure. Venus is in Leo there in the eighth house. It's opposing Pluto in the second. So there might be money coming in through third party sources like taxes, or, it could be an inheritance, or an investment if you invested in art, right? Because we're talking about Venus or a specific project. Things might be coming back, but you need to see how to distribute this money with Pluto in the second house. Like, don't try to hoard everything or spend everything right away. Pluto is asking you to deal with the money in the right way. It's also great for doing research on investments and see, if you want to support a project of someone, you are just going to look out and see where you can do that. Jupiter is rounding up its way in your seventh house. It was definitely the year of love. So this would be, this month still would be a great month for love for you. And then we're gonna move on to eighth house is still love, but it's more, where you merge after you come together, like shared resources and things like that. So you're going to focus more on investments and transformations in creative situations or with children. Let's see, get you a card. Capricorn, surrender. So it's time to surrender. Enjoy the moment, okay? Follow your curiosity right now. Perseverance. How can you persevere right now? Letting go, surrender. We talk about it before, right? That is not a time to force things. Blame and indecision. So don't blame yourself right now if you're feeling indecisive, okay? We're having Gemini, so you need to look at all the options and the right answer will come at the right time. Like you don't have to really force it. Have empathy for yourself, okay? Don't be too hard on yourself. It's a time to kind of enjoy. Money and housing situations might be a little bit more difficult, okay? Because Venus is in the eighth, so maybe you're asking for a loan for a house, but you might not see the full picture clearly. Look out for leaks. Um, and see how long the process would take. Okay, do a lot of research because you have Neptune and Saturn in the fourth house, so it's not the most supportive planets for a move. Okay, so do your research well. Anyways, that would be my message for you, my amazing Capricorn. Thank you so much for being here. And until next time, let's move on to Aquarius. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We have this new moon in Gemini in your fifth house. So, this, some of you are expanding your family. If you don't want that, be very careful. It could be the start of a new creative project because Uranus is there in a sextile with Mars, so maybe you're moving even for a project, or you're working from home and you're just taking a lot of action. Okay, this is a very positive time, lighthearted, fun. I mean, Aquarius, you're a sign, you know very well how to have fun and how to be detached and creative at the same time, because true detachment ideas are coming to you. Okay, so starting a new hobby, meeting someone new. Okay, some of you Aquarius could definitely meet someone new, but we have Pluto here, especially if you're Aquarius rising between 0 and 10 degrees, you will be impacted by Pluto retrograde now, and it's opposing Venus. So just make sure that the person that you meet, that you take your time and you really see what the intentions are of this person, because sometimes it can be someone a little controlling or dominant, or you meet someone with no backbone and you're the dominant one. So you don't want either of those things because you want a team, a partner that is there right with you. Yeah, it might be also a vulnerable time. Venus is in a trine with Neptune, they're in the third house, to talk about, maybe how you see the world, where you would like to travel, share your ideas and your creativity with your partner. And yeah, it's just a beautiful time to reconnect, or maybe in a collaboration. That will only work if you're doing something creative, because otherwise it might lead to miscommunications in some situations. Okay, or if it's something spiritual, it's fine as well. That's very Neptunian also. But yeah, sudden new romance, just see who are you talking to. Mercury is in the sixth house, in Cancer, ruled by the moon. So connect with your emotions when you're in the job, when you're trying to say something, you could get a new client. Okay. Mercury is sextiling Mars in the fourth. Did I say Uranus is sextiling Mars? Yeah, I did say that. It's Venus sextiling Uranus. Okay, doesn't matter. I'm a little sleepy today. I'm a little, this Venus Jupiter is making me really rosy. I don't know if you have the same thing. Like, I just feel like here like chilling with you and just, I'm feeling so zen that, yeah, that's what it is. I'm feeling just very zen. Um, but yeah, it's great for, if you're working real estate, you might sign new contracts, or if you're working with, builders, if you're a builder, you might sign new contracts for a house, things like that. Good time for a diet, starting a diet. Maybe you're doing your workouts from home. Okay, there's a lot of YouTube channels where you can do everything from home as well. So yeah, for some of you, it's pregnancy, starting family, spending a beautiful time with your kids. It's time to have fun. It's time to reconnect to your inner child. Best time. Okay, let's get you a card. Humor. See, it's a fun day. Have a fun day. Freedom. Fifth house is about inner child, about having fun. So this is not really a heavy day. Okay, courage. So I feel like from this fun, quirky, detached perspective, self-esteem, okay? You're gonna find the self-esteem to actually start something. Like some days you just don't care. It's like this day where you feel like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna do it. Whatever. What is there to lose? And then the other day is like, why did I do that? Why did I say that? But who cares? In the end, it's our life. We do with our life what we want, and people can judge. They will judge anyways. This is how I started with my astrology, because I was still working in business when I started this, and I thought like, oh, what will people think? And at some point I was like, actually, I don't care anymore. I just don't. And now I do it full time, so it doesn't matter. And if, people don't like what I do, which is fine, right? Like, we don't always have to like what someone else does. Like, it would be a boring world if we all just agree and say, oh, this is fun, this is great. I mean, having curiosity and interest in someone else's projects is good, right? But I know that I'm probably not going to be very interested in how an electrician does their work. And it's not because they're not good at it, but it's just, for me, it sounds complicated, but I do admire it, and I would love to hear their side or how they experience their days. I mean, it's a weird example, but it's how I see it. Like, not everything is gonna resonate with you, but it doesn't mean it's not interesting. This is perfect Gemini energy, right? Like, I still want to know. And actually, Aquarians, you're also very curious. It's just you don't always have to resonate with it, but you can ask questions and be curious. So this is a day like that, okay? So yeah, that would be my message for you, my amazing Aquarius. And until next time. No, I didn't get you. Did I give you a card? I don't even remember. I'm too rosy right now. Relationships. Okay. So we're gonna have an emphasis on relationships, and maybe some fears might be coming up with Pluto there in the first house. You're going to transform so much, Aquarius, that you're not going to be the same person. So the people you attract are probably going to be different. Okay. So this fear might be coming up, like, do they like this new me? And I really like how we are having this conversation on actually not caring, what you do or what your interests are, because you might attract then people that are on your frequency, right? Service, because that's your service to the world. And the people who will resonate with that, Aquarius, they will naturally be drawn to you. So, and Jupiter soon will be in your seventh house. So I'm just preparing you if you are looking for love or more commitment with your partner. So I'm sending you lots of love. And until next time, let's move on to Pisces. So Pisces, Sun and Rising, we have this new moon in Gemini in your fourth house. So this is about maybe a move for some of you, but this new moon has no aspects. So it's kind of standing on its own. So here we kind of feel maybe that there's no support in the move, or your family is not supporting you in general in some ways. You're communicating with them, but maybe you're expecting a bit more. Okay. But yeah, definitely a move, but it feels like if you want to have discipline with the move, make it fun, put on music. This is a light-hearted time. We have Leo, we have Gemini, very curious signs. So this is a time to flow and enjoy what you're doing. Ask your friends to help you. And if indeed it's hard for someone to help you in rebuilding your home or doing something, like put on some music and make it feel like a light-hearted time. We have Mercury in a sextile with Mars, so it's great for creative projects when it comes to communication. Great time to communicate with your children, see what they really need. Mercury in Cancer is about connecting with your emotions, having deep conversations with your children or with your partner. Like, what do you expect? This is what I'm feeling. This is, and you share that and you come closer with each other. Okay. If you're in any creative project related to communication, especially because Mars is intense, right? So sales is going to be very good, or selling a creative project that you have. Okay. If you're doing any marketing on a product that you're going to release, then yeah, this would be a good time. Very soon, Mercury is going retrograde. Okay. Then it's not going to be at its full speed. It's already in a water sign, which is fine as long as you connect to what you're doing and what you're saying. You have to believe what you do. Otherwise, it's going to be a lot harder. So Venus is now in the sixth house in Leo in the sixth house in Leo in the sixth house. And it's sextiling Uranus in the fourth. So maybe some of you are moving for a job or you're just moving around a lot. Okay. This is a time with Uranus in the fourth that some of you will be drawn to, like, living in a van or moving different locations, exploring the world, not being attached to one place, or just going in the house and doing small trips to different places. More restless energy. Okay, it's not about inner peace so much unless you can write it off you. Can write it off you. So you could be having a new job. Just look at all the details there. Pluto is in the 12th house. So this could be related to a past life karma. Okay. Something that you really need to look at a contract. What are the intentions? Because Venus is also in the second house. Okay. This is a better alignment actually for a creative job rather than a job that is more, I don't know how to say that, static, more cerebral, I would say. Okay, Neptune is in the second house, so also make sure that you don't spend too much money on like health products, because Neptune just likes to throw away money, and it's like it's just slipping through your fingers, and you're not even kind of conscious how much you're spending. Okay, so be aware about your money. Overall, super fun time. Jupiter is still in the fifth house. Some of you are pregnant or thinking about having children, having this conversation, or you could be hanging out with your sister's children, or mixing them together. But yeah, now's the time to enjoy, work on your creative projects, take things light-hearted, not so heavy. Let me get you a card. Service. Sixth house is service, right? So how can your creativity, your passion be of service? Pride. So sometimes we get a little bit, like stubborn about a change. Like we think it's not going to work for us, but you have to have courage, right? Um, Sometimes we need to be courageous to get over maybe a, a new project. It's hard to do that. Sometimes we think or we talk to ourselves like, no, 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 that's not for us. We should be happy. We already have this good of a job. So I'm getting this forgiveness for yourself that sometimes maybe you may be a bit hard on yourself, and that's stopping the process of you actually getting what you want. Okay. So it's not like a bad thing, but sometimes we are so stubborn and so proud because we think that where we are, we're going to stay forever. And life is cycles, a constant movement. So let it flow, let it happen, let the excitement come to you. You don't have to be hard on yourself. All the wisdom is in your heart right now with Jupiter in the fifth house. And especially if you're a late degree Pisces, it's going to really light up this intuitive insight. So you can have so many ideas this month. It's going to be great. So wishing you all the best and until next time. Bye bye.